copy of Why Me?
Well, why me could be, you can get a copy from the link that will be linked to your page, the Political Emporium, and you can go on there, audiobooks. It's out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's not Lou Jasticoff Consultants, but you can go to Political Emporium, and people can, also you can Google Daryl Brooks, Why Me? So, but there'll be a link to your page that people can go download the audio. You can download it or buy a CD.
Okay. And I didn't get a chance to ask you about this earlier, but from the audiobook Why Me, it seems like a chronicle of your life, so and your life experience. So what do you think? Do you think your life experience shows you anything in particular about how the criminal justice system works, or does it show you anything about the price one has to pay to stand up for what they believe in?
Well, all you got to go is go to the Bible, and you see all the individuals who stood up for freedom and liberty and freedom and rights. You look at Jesus Christ and what he had to go with. You look at Meshach and Abednego, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You look at all the individuals that stood up for freedom and stood up for people and the right thing to do, trying to do the morally right thing. And then you look at Gandhi, you look at Martin Luther King, look at all the activists around the world and how what happened to them. Some died, some went to jail, but you look at Gandhi, what he went through. You look at Nelson Mandela, years he went to prison, and came out president of his own country, being elected president of his own country. So, I look at all of those, and it reassures me that everything will be all right, as long as I try to do the right thing and morally right thing, the fight against this evil, corrupt system. It's corrupt. In New Jersey has about 30,000 adults locked up. That's too many. Individuals that should not be in jail are in jail. When you have about 4,500 to 5,000 juveniles locked up, and you have 75 to 80% of those juveniles are poor people and African American. Something's wrong with that picture. And we have all these churches, leaderships that claim to help the poor people and fighting the system. They claim all these things that they're for the people, but there's no change. And there's something has to give. People are suffering, and you got a system that continuously lies and want to see people in jail and not fix the problem. Even you can look at the situation that happened in the city of Trenton with the Rowan Towers. Locked these, I think it was 4 or 5 individuals up. They went to jail. They had to pay high bail. There was no rape.
Were you speaking about the young lady that was allegedly accused, a couple of gentlemen of raping?
Yeah. You look at that whole case, and how the system is. They locked the older sister up when they should have gave her some help. They accused these boys of raping, and there was no rape. Those are. You look at Jena 6. You look what happened all around the country. Where individuals who were the boys in New York that was accused of raping an individual in Central Park. They didn't do it. There's all different types of cases that you can look at around the country. So it's even look at what's going on in Atlanta with Troy Davis, his case. There's something has to give, and I'm as an activist, I want to stand up for freedom and justice and freedom and rights, and I have to do what's right, and we have to get more people to challenge the system because the system is corrupt. And you see cases like that every year around, like my case and other people's cases that's going on around this country, and something has to be done. My thing is what Martin Luther King talked about, nonviolent civil disobedience, direct action. That's what Martin Luther King talked about. That's what Gandhi talked about. That's the best way. I think that's the only best way to change a corrupt system like we have in our county and around our state and around the country. Continuously locking up poor people or people that they know that individuals are innocent, but they just lock up. Something's wrong.
And do you think, specifically, what things within the criminal justice system do you think need repair? Like, do you think it's representation, legal representation? Do you think it's the due process? What part of it would you say needs to be?
When you look at the due process, you can look at the prosecutors. And the prosecutors know, they have the determination whether they're going to prosecute or not. And then we have a police department, detectives that investigate crimes and charge people with crimes. You know, you just can't just charge a person with crime and knowing that you don't have any proof or knowing that there's little evidence. And that's what it has to do with our police force, detectives, and also the prosecutors. And you know, a lot of those determine factors with individuals. With my situation is how they charged me with initially they said it was flashing, then it became sexual assault and endangerment of a child. Well, then they sent that from my case being a municipal case, they pushed it up to sexual assault. It had to be a county, state case. And those determinations you see all over the city when you see individuals charged. You know, there are people that, you know, find the facts out first, investigate. You know, sometimes we watch, you know, what's that, CSI and all these different things, and really that's not reality. That's not how the police force does it, or Law and Order. You know, we think it's going to be like that, and it's some similar stuff, but you know, we don't have detectives. They don't really ask, you know, certain questions. They don't investigate certain things. They say, well, if the person said he did it, then you're charged with it. You know, that's, you know, we have individuals that who, you know, say you did something and now you're charging them and giving them $50,000, $100,000 bails, which individuals can't pay to get out, so they're stuck within a criminal justice system, and then they have to take a plea. I mean, it's wrong. And it has something to do with morally wrong, and this is the, you know, our country is decaying, and this is why you see the madness that goes on in our cities and our states.
And you think, you know, your audiobook, Why Me, may awaken people to these sort of issues that may get overlooked, or?
Well, it explains about my life and as activism too, but it talks about the issues of the justice system and what happened to me was so wrong, and why, to the point where, you know, explains the issues in my case. But it talks about leading up to the problems that I've had with the Trenton Police and the Mercer County justice system. So it talks about it. It goes into detail about my case, and I think it's something that people are definitely going to like and going to understand, because most people, when they did listen to the audiobook, they enjoyed hearing it. And so it made them think. And this audiobook is hopefully going to make people think.
And there are some people out there that suggest